All righty. Hello, everyone. So welcome to this little fun chat module, we'll call it, where essentially Eiley has come on. She's been gracious enough to come on and just share a bit of her story and her success thus far. I want to make this video for you. I want this to be something you can come back to as what I call as an expander. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you know that I use the word expander a lot. It's not my terminology, but essentially the idea of an expander is somebody that you relate to who is just a few steps ahead of you, or maybe a bunch of steps ahead of you, who has something or is aligned to something that you want. And the idea with an expander is it shows you what's possible and kind of opens up your mind to, yes, you can align to what you want. And I personally find it very helpful to have different expanders for different things. And so as you're going throughout this program, no matter what your goals are, I just invite you to find somebody who is a few steps ahead of you, whether that's somebody in the program, whether that's somebody who's already graduated the program, or somebody who's not even in the program, but has achieved something similar to what you would like out of this, and keep them in your mind's eye. But right now, we're just going to chat with Eiley and hear a little bit about her background, how she got into the program, and where she is now. And hopefully you can glean some wisdom and go from there. So Eiley, thanks so much for doing this.
Of course.
People may recognize you from our first interview together.
Yeah.
Eiley did gut rehab before she did this program. And I know if you're here, you might have done that too. I don't think it's a coincidence that when we go through like a health journey, we have realizations about other parts of our lives. But I'll let you fill everybody in. Like, Eiley, could you just let us know you were in gut rehab and you found out about this program? Where was your mind at in gut rehab that made you want to do this? Like, just give us some insight. How'd you end up here?
Okay. So my healing journey was about a year and a half before I started gut rehab. And through the whole thing, I was just kind of like, learning a lot of things, gathering a ton of information, realizing like there's this other way to do everything, right? A much more holistic way. And I was just so interested in it. But then when I got to gut rehab and it finally started working, I was like, this is it. This is the golden ticket. This is what I want to be involved in. I had always been interested in it, but gut rehab just kind of like kicked it to a whole new level for me, because I was like, this is such a good program. It's so simple. It's low stress and it just delivers results. So I was like, I want to help more people get better with this program, because I was desperate before I was in it, really. I couldn't find any answers forever. And I just wanted to like scream from the rooftops, like, I know what to do. I'm here to help. I'm ready to go. So towards the end of it, there was an opportunity that arose to join the team kind of and learn more about it and become a health coach. And I was just like, kind of waffling about it. It's like, should I spend more money? And then I was like, of course you should. This is an investment. You can't get anything in life without investing money into it, and time and love and energy. So as soon as I did, I was just like 0 to 60, like I'm ready to go.
I mean, I remember, I think what's funny is like, hindsight's such 2020, but when you were originally interested, I think it's helpful to highlight like kind of what you just said. We can want one thing, we can have an idea, oh, like, should I do this? Should I do this? But then our own worries or doubts or fears or stories come up around, can I even make this happen? And like, had you had a background in business or coaching or like any of this before you started this program?
No, I was a natural therapeutic specialist. So I did know a lot about body work and diet, lifestyle, holistic health. I knew a lot about that, but I had zero background in coaching. So for those of you out there who are doubting if this is for you, I think it's more of like you're passionate about what it entails and your own success in it that just drives, and to the other success that you see about all the people around you in the program. It just kind of like everyone's an expander around you, so it's kind of
Yes.
not to fall into it.
I love that you said that, because I completely agree. Like when our hearts are really open, and I feel like it's easier to have our hearts open when we don't feel like crap. Like if you go through gut rehab and you feel better, it's just easier to be in a good headspace. And when you're in a good headspace, it's almost impossible not to see what's around you and notice like, oh my gosh, everybody has something wonderful that I could learn from them and I can give. It sounds very like hippy dippy, but it's like so true. But I want to kind of flash forward for everybody watching. You haven't even finished technically like the program, and you've signed 3 clients on.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I was really nervous because I was like, I had not even like really put myself out there on social media either. I was not like an Instagram queen or anything. I was really worried about that because I was like, am I going to be okay at this? Is this even something I want to do every day? So that freaked me out. And then as soon as I started doing it, just like dipping my toe in the water, like all these people were like, oh my God, I have gut issues. Can you help me? Oh my God. Like everybody just came out of the woodwork. Like people I know that I would have never guessed had gut issues were like, I need your help. So I was like, okay, I'm not quite ready. So I tried to just back it off a little bit, but then I was like, I know this stuff though. I know it. And I'm learning it and it's always there. And I have all this help and all of these people and you and all the other ladies on the team that I can go to if I need anything. So I just dove in and it's been awesome.
Let's back up to what you just said about you putting yourself out there as, okay, I'm doing this now. I'm a coach. I can help more people than you ever imagined, kind of asking about it. You having this feeling of, which I think is so big for whether or not you're switching careers or you've been in this health space for a long time of, sure, yeah, I want to be a health coach, but okay, wait, people actually want my help? Wait, can I help them though? Like this, now ish got real. Like that's a feeling that I've heard so many times, and it can prevent people, if you're watching this from the outside of the program, know that, oh my gosh, it's so understandable to have a limiting belief or a fear that, well, what if I do this and I can't do it? Like, I'm not good at coaching. Like, I think so many people have this deep down, but I have to say, like, you have come across quite confident, and I've seen your clients like report wonderful changes already, like incredible changes. You said you were first a little nervous, but then you said, I know this stuff. Could you give us a little bit of insight into where that's coming from? I mean, obviously you're in this program, you went through gut rehab, but like, what has given you that confidence that, yeah, I can guide somebody?
It's really the program. I'm so confident in the program that you have created. It's very simple, which doesn't mean it's easy, but it's very simple and it's low stress. And I just feel like it's if anything, it's removing a lot of the hectic supplements and too much information and too many things I need to do to get better. Like it's simplifying everything for people. So I just think everybody can benefit from it, like no matter who you are. So I was super confident in the program. That was like my backbone. And then as far as like me coming into it, I mean, I hadn't coached before, but like a lot of people would come to me with questions about my health journey anyways before this, and I would help try and guide them. And I'm just one of those people that like, I guess I listen. So people just tell me things and So I wasn't really worried about how I would be. I just knew that I had something good to lean back on, which was gut rehab.
I am so glad you highlighted that piece. Well, both of them. I want to emphasize for people on the outside, a lot of people who would be interested in becoming a health coach, or not just becoming a health coach, maybe they already are a health coach, but they want to put themselves out there to get clients and work in a way that is not draining them, in a way they feel confident with, and they can actually charge their worth. They could charge the value of what they're doing. And one gap that I saw, because I went through it myself with a different certification program, is like you, knowing a lot about health, knowing a lot about wellness, but there being a gap between knowing a lot, but then what are the actual steps that I can do, that I could help somebody else do, that can get them from A to B? AKA like a simple plan that you feel confident in, AKA gut rehab. So other people are who are watching that, so I know what we're talking about. I have to say, the whole side benefit of gut rehab, I think, when you're going through it yourself to rebalance your body, that's one thing, just to feel better. Whether you're just coming in, oh my gosh, I want to be bloated, oh my gosh, I want to like clear my acne, whatever that is. It's learning and realizing how simple rebalancing can be when you have clarity, when you have steps, and when you have support. When those three things are there, you can move through a healing, rebalancing journey without there being, like you said, so much stress and overwhelm and all the things. But of course, we emphasize in gut rehab, it's not a one size fits all. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people wonder. I get questions about that all the time. Okay, this gut rehab program, it sounds magical, but like, I've tried a lot of things. What if it doesn't work? One thing I want to highlight too, that I think when you went through gut rehab yourself, learned, which you are now passing on to your clients, is that gut rehab, it gives you that clarity, the steps. You have adult acne, you're bloated, you have inflammation, weight. Here's the 7 steps that we're going to go through, but within each of those 7 steps, you're actually revealing what's working for you, what doesn't. And I remember specifically with you, for example, for people on the outside, it's like creating diet clarity, finding out what foods actually work for you. That's part of that. And you found out, for example, that cacao is not your friend, like cocoa nibs. And knowing that piece and having that in your back pocket as a coach now, where yes, you have a plan, but at the end of the day, your clients are being guided to what works for them. It's like you're not boxing anybody in. You get to empower. I guess what I'm trying to say is you get to empower your clients with tools versus a rule book.
Yes. And that's a really good point. And that's another thing that takes any stress off of like jumping into this for someone brand new at this, is that you are meeting your client where they are at right now. And they could be from one end of the spectrum to the other, and all the way in between. And it doesn't matter where they are, because this program will work for anybody, because it is you, the client, who creates it, really. I mean, it's up to you. You're in the driver's seat the whole time. And so that just really takes the stress off. You can make all the recommendations and guide people in a certain direction, but at the end of the day, if they're happy, like keeping a certain thing in their lives, like, I don't know, gluten, but it seems to be going okay for them, then that's up to them, and then if they're happy, then they're happy. So huge weight lifted as a new coach.
No, and that's so big. I think people have a misconception of what coaching is, what health coaching is. And I want to state it so clearly for everybody on the outside. Being a health coach is like being a guide. And there's guides are on a spectrum, right? I'm of the belief that if you want to be successful, and success means different things for different people, but if we're talking like monetarily, or you want to work with a lot of clients, that kind of thing, being a guide that's knowledgeable and has tools is like essential, right? Because everybody and their mom is a health coach these days. But a process results kind of speak for themselves. And so when you have that and your clients are reporting wonderful changes, it just creates this wonderful circle. And so anyways, now you've already signed on 3 clients, you're working with them. What was your goal? And is it still the same with doing this training program in terms of clients, in terms of income? Are you just doing this for yourself? Are you doing this to make this a side hustle? Is this going to be a full-time? Like, what is your vision? Like, where do you see this being able to take you?
I think it could take me anywhere.
Yeah,
When
that's the answer.
when I started it, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to segue into this. It's, right now I'm just like learning so much, and I'm trying to like slow my roll almost and just like take it easy. You have 2 jobs kind of right now. I do have another real full-time job. So my goal is to go down to, I might as well say it because that's part of manifesting, right? I would love to go down to like PRN and that, and like focus more on this would be my dream. And then to go all the way into this would be the best. But yeah, right now I'm just learning. So I'm giving myself a little time, little patience, and see what happens.
Ah, I love that. And thank you for sharing for other people on the outside that you dove into this while, maintaining another your full time. And I think that's really big to highlight because, of course, like everybody's situation is so different. But I wished when I started my own journey down, like, hey, I want to health coach. I didn't even know LNA was going to be a thing. I was like, I just need to do this. Things were not perfectly organized for me in that I had, all the space and time to just build this. And I had all this support and cushion around me. It's fantastic if you do. If you do, and you want to make this your career, amazing. But don't let it limit you. If you have another job right now, you're a mom, or there's other things going on in your life, but you see in the vision that you want to make this your career, don't let your current circumstances limit you. You have to be able to see beyond that.
Mhm.
And so I use a great example. Many of you know, I was in grad school full time while I was working with clients. And I was telling Eileen before we actually jumped on the call that because this work is so like fun and satisfying, it wasn't draining when I was, doing that and working full time. Was it ideal? I would have loved to do this full time at the beginning, but it's interesting how that works when you're actually doing something you love. It's not draining. You just want to do more of it. So don't let that limit you either. And then next thing I'm just thinking of is, okay, you did gut rehab, you signed up for this program, you are seeing what most people on the outside would consider success pretty early in it. And you're like glowing, you look amazing, you see your energy so good. Is there anything specifically that you feel you have focused on since joining this training program? Like anything that you feel like, this is something I focused on, whether it's mindset, whether it's actual parts of the training, whether it's your own routine, to have really aligned with the goals that you set out to, or the intentions you set out to do when you join the program. I want to work with clients. Boom, you got 3. Anything that you feel you personally focused on?
Well, I mean, I try to make my presence known pretty much every day on Instagram, and make new fun clips and stuff. I kind of rotate through like training, exercise stuff, and then like just nuggets of things I've learned throughout this whole thing. And a lot of it strikes chords with just people because there's so many things that I had going on. So it's kind of like a wide net. But also I really am learning a lot from my clients, which is like, it's just like this ongoing learning adventure, right? Like, especially this one client who is like teaching me more about how to like relax and chill and be, give yourself some grace. If you like stop being so, type A about things, you can really like, she's teaching me this now. And she's like, just barely in the beginning of it. And I'm like, that's why this stuff is so amazing. It just goes forth. It's like it's like a community of people that I'm so happy to be a part of.
I'm so glad. And that is the magical part of being a coach or being a guide is, well, one, when you are personally like in your power, you're feeling good and you feel like you're doing what you want to do. You attract people um, who are coming from also a really good place. And then that just makes for an awesome client coach dynamic. And you get to learn from every single client. And it can feel deeper sometimes than just work. You know, some people want this just be a job, but I would say that most people don't. Most women who do this want something more out of it. And it's magical because a lot of my clients, I'll say, have become lifelong friends that I know. And I think that's something that's not very common to talk about. It's almost like taboo, like work and friends and all of that. And I want to just be the person to say, you know, this is your life. You get to do whatever you want to do. And when you're doing work that's aligned to you, you'll find that when it's aligned to you, it's you. So if it's an extension of you, you're going to attract probably people who you really resonate with. And life can just become so much richer, you know, and it all starts with, we're kind of going off here, but that always happens with me. When your body is balanced, when you feel confident in your body, you feel good, doors open, clarity opens, and your next steps kind of follow. And it was just really beautiful to see you, Eiley, go from when we met, all the different issues that you talk about on Instagram. And if you haven't checked out Eiley's Instagram, go ahead and do that. There'll be a link under this. But she shares very openly all the health struggles she struggled with for years, did gut rehab, and then found herself here, and is really just aligning further and further. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see. My kind of last question, hard question, is for anybody who is watching this and going, I would love to be a health coach. I would love to guide others. I love to make money doing that. Like I love for that to be my job. But like when I'm actually doing it and I'm actually health coaching, working with clients, how does that feel? What is my life? What really changes? Is there anything that you've noticed thus far? You know, you're working your other job right now and you're doing this. Now that you're health coaching, is there anything that you feel in your life or with you personally that's shifted or improved?
Oh man. I mean, I think that was another reason I was drawn to do this, was because I was just so bored at my job and there's like really no meaning behind it. And I had all these days off, which I had, that's why I was doing this job, is because I can have 4 days off in a row. But then I was just kind of like, so this has like just infused so much more meaning in my life, and honestly, just so much more happiness. Like now when I go to my other job, my real job, I'm like, whatever, it's cool. Like, this is fun. I can do this now. It's a couple days of this job. And then I get to go back to my real job that I love with my clients who I'm uncovering things with them and we're growing and they're so happy. And like, I'm actually just giving back. It's like, it's an amazing, amazing feeling. It's almost more amazing than like healing yourself, because it's like helping somebody else finally. And it's amazing. Don't hesitate. Like if it's about the money, like whatever, money comes and goes, but this is like something that will change your life. And especially if you've already done gut rehab, you know what that means. So I just say, do it.
I am just so glad and like just deeply, I don't even know what the word is. It's just like a yes feeling, like, yes, this is so satisfying to see. And this is just the beginning, you know, if everybody watching, like you've been doing this, for a couple of months, and it just keeps getting better. And I could say that because I've gone through it. It just keeps getting better. And for everybody else watching, no matter what you get out of this, I think the biggest message I want to share is a reminder that this is your life. You get to be the star of your own movie. And if you are a woman specifically who has been feeling like, probably longer than just a feeling, but this kind of low grade, I want something more, I would love to be in health and wellness. Or maybe you are, but you haven't had the confidence or the tools or the business structure to actually make that a thing. Know that it's so possible, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming and scary. Again, step-by-step guidance, clarity, and support can put you light years, or just help you skip over that overwhelm. And that's why I made this training program, so you have that and can get to where you want to be faster. And just with less stress, make it a possibility for you. So I am so excited to see where you go, Eiley, and it's wonderful to have you part of the community. That's one other thing I want to say. I think it's really cool that we are building a community here of women who like have very similar values, and whether you want to be full-time, part-time, or just want to feel better, like it's all here. But thank you so much for sharing, and I'm sure we will be seeing a lot more of you. All right, bye, Eiley.
Bye.